Is we always want to make sure that a wheel's in straight, which on a more modern bike like this with a through axle, that's pretty much catered for. You can't put it in wonky, but on something a little bit older, such as your own bike,
Okay.
with a traditional quick release, it can go in wonky. So you want to put it on the floor, wheel it with the quick release loose, and then tighten it up on the floor. So that would mean the wheel's in straight.
Okay.
So then we want to start with the cable off. Our high and low screws should already have been adjusted, so we don't want to mess with those. They don't affect the indexing of the bike. That's the 2 screws there and the B screw. We shouldn't need to touch those if we're not changing anything else.
Okay.
So then we want to make sure that the shifter, whatever it is clicked down into its lowest gear.
Yep.
Okay. So, and then we want to wind your adjuster in, whether this is on the derailleur or on the gear shifter itself. It can be on both or one or the other.
If it's on both, do you do both?
You can do either.
Oh, right.
Yeah, you can do either. Essentially, all a barrel adjuster does is lengthen or shorten the outer cable, which then affects the tension of the cable. So, and then just wind it out half a turn, so you've got a bit of adjustment either way. So then what's really important is if you look at the mounting place, there'll always be a right way to mount the cable, and if you were to mount it the wrong way, it would affect the cable pull ratio. So you can do, if you're never sure, this one's pretty obvious because there's a little groove there, so it's going to go in that groove. But if you're never sure, you can take off the backing plate and it'll have little grooves in to grip the cable, so you can check. But yeah, so on this one there's a groove there, so it goes in there. So we mount it in. Tighten it down. So then all we want to do is pedal the bike, click it up 1 notch. It won't move until we add the right amount of tension, so pedal your bike, twist the barrel adjuster until it pops up into that first gear.
Right, okay, yeah.
Okay, so if we check that goes back down and back up, theoretically, if everything else is correct on the bike, that should then shift across the whole gears.
Oh, okay.
Because that's what indexing is, the ratio is the same. So we can shift up the block, and then back down again. Now, obviously that's worked pretty well. You might find that the odd gear, it catches slightly in one gear maybe, or is slightly off, so you can put it in that gear and just fine tune it in or out using the barrel adjuster, and you can do it by sound, just listen to it.
Yep. Or
eyeball it from the back to see if you can see it touching. But yeah, realistically, so you always start from your littlest sprocket.
Yep.
And
Up into the next one up.
yeah, up.
Okay.
See, it's not quite right there because I've just messed with it. But give it a little. If it works in those, it works in all.
Perfect.
That's the basis of it.
Lovely, thank you.
And